Hello, everyone. Big Brother 27 is almost here, and I have a question that I would like to pose to the producers. Why are you not casting more house guests over 50 years old? Come on. They're the bread and butter of an amazing Big Brother cast. We're coming off of Big Brother 26, where we had the icon, the legend, the true moment, Miss Angela Murray. And it really made me think, why doesn't Big Brother cast more house guests over the age of 50? And I compiled a list of all of the first time players of Big Brother through its 26 US seasons. And there are only 11 individuals on this list who played at age 50 and over, which is a travesty, in my opinion. Older players, I think, are incredible television. And I'm going to go through some of these players and you're going to see what I mean by me making this declaration. I think a lot of times Big Brother casting producers want to cast people who are in their 20s, people who don't really know who they are, people who are going to come on the show and be messy and who are going to get in fights, who don't really understand the gravity of the situation that they're in and how they're on national TV, people who are going to really be themselves. They look for people who are young, maybe a little innocent, maybe a little more inexperienced. However, I think you get the people who are the most themselves who are going to be on TV after the age of 50. After the age of 50, you know exactly who you are. You're done apologizing for any of your quirks. You've settled into them. You've even come to really love them. You are unapologetic. You are ready to show who you are. And if people have a problem with it, that's their problem. And I think this list of personalities is going to show you that this is a group of people that Big Brother really needs to fish from for the rest of their seasons, because this group of people, icons, legends, the moment. Gerry from season 3. Gerry, we all know. Say it with me. Wash your nasty ass hands. Gerry's the one who came out of the bathroom, didn't wash his hands, got into the iconic fight with Danielle Reyes. They were going at it in the living room. Lori, who was one of the first boots of that season, got in a huge screaming match about it because she didn't like what Danielle was saying. Gerry also really felt things. You know, he didn't want to get rid of Marcellus. He was very much the dad of the house. But it's not like he was just there over the summer doing nothing. There was drama that was caused from him, like a true kind of, for lack of a better term, shit stirrer. Oh, sorry, that's kind of gross, but alas. The next person over the age of 50, and I do think that this person is perhaps why we got a bit of a dip in our casting pool. We had Jack Owens, who, from what I remember on Big Brother 4, was really exciting. He was very unfiltered in the DR. I think at one point he said that Dana had the sex appeal of a buzzard, which, well, Jack, come on now. But Jack was really close friends with Erica. I think that the producers really liked the fact that he was sort of, you know, connecting with this younger person. They really liked the Elizabeth Roger on Survivor, and this was kind of Big Brother's answer to that. But he kind of went out in a bit of a fizzle towards the end of the game. We go from season 4 to the reason that I wanted to make this video in the first place, the iconic season 10, which included my favorite house guest of all time, Renny, and the incomparable Gerry, who was 75 at the time that he played Big Brother. Now, these people's reputation precedes them. Renny has more moments than I can seemingly count. We're gonna go with it's inappropriate. We're gonna go with not knowing time zones. We're gonna go, I mean, the list can go on of how amazing, iconic, hysterical Renny is. And Gerry, I mean, Gerry was 75, but this is what I'm talking about when I say people who are older are unapologetically themselves. Gerry was fighting with the best of them. The magna cum laude fight with Keisha and Libra, the you'll always be Judas to me was Dan. I mean, Gerry fell in the pool, which he's the first, but not the last person on this list over 50 to fall in the pool. Well, circle back around later. Those are kind of our gold standard house guests, right? Like, I think about these moments that they had in the house, and I cannot help but absolutely cackle to myself, because I want people on my TV who I'm like, is this a real person? How did you find them? Thank God they're on my television. And Renie and Jerry delivered. Next house guest that was over 50, a man named Garcia, who was the first boot of 18. And you may be like, what are you talking about? He was the first boot. Like, I don't even remember who this is. There wasn't any great TV going on with this person. Yeah, there wasn't great TV, but I do think that if you're watching this video on RHAP, you know about some interesting stuff that happened with Garcia after the season. Kevin from season 19. This was a home run casting choice. I mean, this season was all about Paul and his minions. And Kevin at one point was a big Paul minion, but also sort of became the audience's rootable underdog. Everybody really wanted him to come out from under Paul. In that very first episode, he got hot. He stripped down to, he took off his clothes. He took the $25,000 or that big cash prize. He really brought a ton to the season. And then in season 21, we had Cliff Hogg, baby. He did his Cliff Notes to the cameras that got overheard by Christy Murphy. He was voted out, came back through that puzzle that he did against everybody with the ball on it. He was in the final four with Nicole. They were all a part of that Tommy fight. Like, Cliff made a really good run to win season 21. And I will say, the rest of these people, maybe you wouldn't have thought they could have won Big Brother, but they were great characters. But Cliff, I do think there was actually a really great shot for him to win the game. We need to keep this momentum going as we look towards this cast of BB27. We had the unbelievable Siri Fields. I do feel like she's a little bit of a cop-out here because, of course, we know she's 5-time survivor, 6-time survivor, a million-time survivor, winner of the Traitors. This was her first time playing Big Brother, but she was already an established presence in the reality TV community. She was 53 when she played Big Brother. What else can you say about Siri? You want to talk about somebody who had a chance to win, but it's Siri. It's a bit different. I do feel like she's got a little asterisk next to her name when we're talking about all of the best Big Brother older house guests. But Mr. B, Big Brother, brought us Miss Felicia. And I mean, come on. Miss Felicia, who was always asking Mr. B for more ingredients in the house, who, she fell in the pool that first week. We all know about the farting on Cerise's bed, about dropping her mic. Felicia's mic versus water in the house. I mean, was there a bigger rivalry on Big Brother 25 than Felicia and her mic versus liquids? Name it.
There is an individual who was on this last season of Big Brother who is not Angela Murray, believe it or not, who is over the age of 50. And that is the one and only Sweet Kenny. Look, okay. The thesis of this video is absolutely hyping up all of the things that these over 50 players bring to the show. And while Kenny doesn't necessarily fit the bill, based on him trying to quit the entire time he was there, Kenny did give us plenty of memes. And, let's maybe put up the picture of his BB comic. I do think Kenny's comic will go down in infamy. And for that, I do think that his cast was worth it.
And then finally, like I said, the person who this video, she's the reason that this is the reason for the season here. Miss Angela Murray. I will never forget where I was when I first saw Crazy Eyes. I was not watching feeds live. I was at a bachelorette party. I watched the clip on Twitter. I was standing in the kitchen with a couple of girls from the bachelorette party. I fell to the floor. I fell to my knees on the floor. I said, I have prayed for times like this. I have prayed for times when a 50-year-old woman gets in the house, rehearses all night the speech she's going to make to the entire rest of the house on her HOH week. Come down, slow clapping. Matt. I mean, does it get any better than that? Oh, in fact, yes, it does. Because Brooklyn has stolen her charcuterie. And she's cried all over the house. See, I can't even get through it. She's cried all over the house, in the DR, on the ground, in misery, because she's a have-not and her charcuterie from her HOH is being eaten. The veto being used on her every week. The look of shock when she's in her magic shirt. Big Brother casting producers. Allison Grodner. All of the folks in charge of Big Brother 27. I know Angela Murray was lightning in a bottle. However, I do feel like I've laid out a really great precedence for the presence of these older house guests and how incredible they can be, not only on our television screens, but on our live feeds. And I implore you, as July 10th is right around the corner, to put one or two. You know, I can be okay with one, but one or two folks over that ripe age of 50, ready to play Big Brother, ready to kick some ass, and ready for me to be their biggest fan.